Yeah, if you just want to give that a reading for us.
Sure. This is one of my favorite quotes about printing and about design and creativity. The quote goes, "Of all the arts, printing may be said to be the most conservative, since its function is to conserve thought and thus to serve another art. Its governing conventions are not merely time-honored, but evolved from practical considerations. Within these there is boundless scope for the application of taste and the sense of order, but little place for the exercise of the oddities so frequently mistaken for originality." That's one of the best commentaries on design I think I've ever read. My name's Constantine Grab, and I am the founder of Coeur Noir Specialty Printers. We started Coeur Noir in July of 2003 in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. All we ever really wanted to do when we started was fine art prints and letterpress fine art prints. A lot of the people that we worked with were our peers at the time. We were involved in the graffiti scene, street art, and we were really just sort of working with our friends. You know, they had a show coming up and they wanted something that they could sell at the show or something that they could frame. A lot of those artists have gone on to incredibly illustrious careers. We've worked with Cause and Scott Campbell, Ryan McGinnis, Jose Parla. We've got art in the permanent collections of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Smithsonian Institution, the MoMA, the Whitney, and in countless galleries and private collections all over the world. When we started doing commercial work, we made a vow to ourselves that we were only going to start doing the commercial work if we could maintain the same standards to which we held our fine artwork. And from there, things just started to evolve. It was a business card for someone here and a wedding invitation for someone there, and slowly over time, we made the metamorphosis from a fine art outfit into a commercial printing business, which wasn't something that we expected. But here we are 20 years later and still going. I think the beauty of letterpress and of printing and what we do in general is that we are able to take the resources that are available to us and combine them in ways that traditionally have never been combined in order to realize the creative vision of contemporary graphic designers, people that grew up on computers and a lot of times will come in here and they've never done a print project. And so we get to educate and indoctrinate a new generation of print buyers into the world of printing and a process that's hundreds and hundreds of years old, and that's very cool. I find it very romantic almost that we're using, you know, a 7,000-pound piece of equipment to print the finest lines of type and capture the most elegant serifs with a machine that literally weighs as much as a car, and that, you know, if you dropped it, it would put a hole through the floor, is also printing this elegant, very refined type. The combination of the violence of the process with the romance of the result is very cool to me. Engineering is the process of identifying what techniques you are going to employ in order to realize your client's vision. If they want a certain aspect of the printing to be raised and shiny, you have to figure out what the best way to do that is going to be in the context of everything else that's happening. One of the biggest differences with letterpress versus foil is, for one, you're incorporating heat into the equation, which melts the glue that adheres the pigment to the acetate backing. So you're using a copper plate. The copper is very hard, and the heat actually helps mold the paper, so you can do things like embossing and debossing on the same piece of equipment. The other big distinction with foil is the foil is opaque. So you can print lighter colors onto darker substrates. You can print white onto black. And you can also do true metallics, like silvers and golds and whatever metallic you can imagine. A lot of the designs that we've been doing lately marry contemporary 4-color process printing on the Indigo. For example, photographic images or blended colors that would otherwise be impossible to reproduce on a letterpress, and combine those with the more traditional printing processes to give us the kind of unique products that our clients come to us for. All printing is an art of limitation in a way because it serves another art. Really, anything that you're printing is a reproduction of some other creative vision. And so the limitations of printing, sure, there are limitations with color, with saturation, with overprinting. I mean, the limitations are endless, but the possibilities are equally endless. The satisfaction on our clients' faces when we actually deliver a physical incarnation of the idea that they had in their head of something that they wanted, be it their business card or their wedding invitation or their art print, delivering that to people and having it look like it was born that way. I take a lot of satisfaction in seeing the looks on people's faces when they actually get the final product. Letterpress, the process itself is a craft. I think the difference here is that we treat letterpress, the process, as an art, and we really are all in our own right, fancy ourselves at least artists, and take that artist's aesthetic and eye to that craft and try and elevate it and impart the things that we find aesthetically pleasing and beautiful about the process and give it something a little bit more than craft, which I guess you could call art.